Alright, g'day guys, Matt Preston built Prado. Welcome back to the channel. Now, very excited because today I thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update of what's going on with the car, because this car's going to look completely different, hopefully by the end of November. So I thought we'd do a quick video and just run through what's happening and what the ideas around it are. And if you have any suggestions, put them in the comment section down below of if there's anything else I should do to the car while I'm modifying it, and all these changes will happen. So yeah, let's get into it. So as you should all know by now, I'm getting a new bull bar for this car, which is a must. This car is very tired and worn and old, and it serves its purpose, but after a dodgy black paint job, it's just starting to fade off. And it's been a good bar. It's actually stopped a few brews in its time, and it's done well at that. It hasn't really got any dents or anything. But yeah, it's time to move on to bigger and better things. This bar will be for sale, so if you're interested, if you're in Adelaide, South Australia, and you want a black bar like this that's been chopped, message me on Instagram and we can sort something out. Now, to be fair, this is the bar that came with the car, and this is a 1996 Prado. So these are the original stock alloy bars from factory. They're quite desirable, they're hot property, because after this they released the bar. It was kind of slightly rounded at the bottom and looked a bit funny, whereas this is more of like a staggered sharp edge sort of look, kind of like the one on the 80 series and 105. So these were very desirable, so if you want it, let me know soon. Okay, so I've been very fortunate. The team at Vic Off-Road have sent me out 4 of their 9-inch spotties. Okay, so they're just the Light Fox brand. Now, they're the top of the range models. They have the interchangeable like colorings and stuff, which is really good because I can really customize the look of the new setup I'm trying to do. And there's also going to be 2 5-inch sort of pod lights, you could call them, and I'm hoping to fit them within the bar, sort of within the mounting point where you'd normally put like a high lift jack or something. So that's the idea. I'll draw it out for you on the phone. Okay, so I've just brought up my phone here and I'll just have a little play around and show what I'm envisioning. So this is the bar. Now, before you ask, this is, sadly, it's pretty much from China, but I got a really good deal. I was able to get a front bar and a rear bar for about $1,000 Australian. That's including postage, that's everything. So as you can see, that is very good price, compared to, you know, 3 to 6 grand if you were to get both from a company, you know, in Australia, I guess you could say. And this is still meant to be a sort of budget themed build, so I figured it also works along with that sort of theme as well. Now the front bar, it's got it here on the phone, it's a steel bar. As you can see, there's a few brands that sort of have bars that look like this as well, but my envision is for it. So you can see here, it's got 2 little square lights at the bottom, and it's also got the winch option, which is good because I'm going to be having a King's Dominator front winch in the front of this. Now, I know it's King's, but I still think the gear is really good, and the Dominator winch is, you know, it works hard and it does what it needs to do, okay? And I'll be honest, I don't think I'll use it that much, but if I'm going to get a new bar, I might as well have the winch in there as well, and I can use it at work or at home pulling trees out and all that sort of stuff. So I thought that'd be a cool little upgrade. And then I've also got halogen lights coming for it. Because, sorry, it comes with halogen lights, like the yellow old style, just in this little ring spot here, like in here. So I'm going to be getting ones that are LED, and I've already got them. So just here it has like, yeah, yellow halogen light, but I've got these little LED circle ones that look really nice, so they're going to sit in there. And then for these little squares in here, these will be hopefully the 5-inch pod lights from Vic Off-Road, Fox Light brand, okay? So that's the idea. And then last but not least, I'm gonna, out of those 4 9-inch spotties I've got, I'm gonna use 3 of them and have 3 across the bar like this. So it'll be quite aggressive looking, okay? So I'm planning to have essentially 3 9-inch LED spotties up here with the rings, and I can change it to whatever color I want, that will look good. And then 2 LEDs with the indicators, and then a winch in the middle. And those 2 5-inches hopefully in the high lift jack spot port, because I don't have a high lift jack anyway, so it's not like I would sort of use that space, if that makes sense. And I just think I'm going to try and utilize them somehow in the project, and I don't want them to be like up here because I just think that'll look a bit silly. So that's my terrible drawing, but you get a rough idea of what I'm trying to go for, and I think it will look really good on this car. Okay, now I did a really terrible Photoshop of it, but I'll put it up on screen now. It's a photo of that new bar with 3 spotties in the grille. and also does have like some chrome bead locks, but that is the rough idea of what it would look like. Granted, that's a really bad Photoshop, but you get a bit of an idea. I want it to look quite aggressive and quite unique. Okay, so this is the part I'm probably most excited for, even more than the front bar, is actually the rear bar, because the front bar is great and all, and you get, you know, a winch, which is a new practicality for me, but the rear bar, you get the dual can holder, which I'm just so excited for, and I'm really excited to take the weight of the 35-inch tyre off the rear door, because that door is dropped now, and it's quite heavy, and obviously all the mechanisms in there is getting worked double time. Okay, so this is obviously the stock bumper it comes with. Now it's just plastic, which is fine, because, you know, off-road you can't really break that easily, unlike steel, but all the plastic here, very common in the 90 series, it all fades out and it goes disgusting, and it's happened on both, and it just looks a bit slack. Okay, now I'm very excited because the rear bar will obviously be able to take the spare wheel, get all that weight off the rear door, and have a dual jerry can holder, which I'll have here. So I'll have two cans back here. One will be a 20-litre water, and the other one will probably be a 20-litre jerry. Okay, so for those big trips, I can have the extra range, and I can also have water on the back here for, you know, you're in the kitchen, you can get your water for cooking. I'm really excited because rear bars are just, they look so nice, and I really want to get one. So, so the same company got the rear bar from, and it doesn't look, that front bull bar is a bit different, like you can't really get that anywhere else, whereas this rear bar, it kind of looks the same as all the other rear bars. Okay, so I've just got the phone up here again. I thought I'd show you the rear bar in more detail. So it doesn't show that clearly in this photo, but right here essentially will be the double jerry, and those are side-on jerrys. Okay, so you can get ones that have double stack facing sort of this way, but these are the long way, which I think is better because it keeps more of the weight into the vehicle and makes it more of a tighter fit to the back of the car, because obviously this will be a lot of weight over the rear, so the suspension will be filling that a little bit, but you get that practicality of storage. Now on the other side, like I said, will be like this, and that will just, they'll have a giant wheel in it essentially, and I'll have that as exposed, like a nice chrome bead lock exposed, or I'll put the big bin bag on it, and that will just be a great way to store all the rubbish. So very practical, very excited. Now I will be honest, when you put these rear bars on, the way they mount, it kind of reduces your towing capacity, which is, you know, could be a massive issue for some people. So the Prados, these do about 2.5 ton when you're towing, but when you put these bars on, that reduces that back to about 1.5 ton, I'm pretty sure. So it will be a bit of a difference there, but then again, that's just a thing you got to take into consideration. I'm sure you could get it engineered to get it back up to 2.5 ton, but with the towing I do, I don't really tow that much. I just tow trailers every now and then, and they'll be under a ton, so I'm gonna have no dramas, and I'm very happy to go with that and just lose a bit of towing capacity. Okay, so this is probably the part of the build that will change it the most, more than the front and rear bar and all the winch and all that. It's the wheels. So as you can see here, currently have my -22 16-inch rims. Now these are just your typical Sunraiser steel rims. Now these are by Rowe. I've literally had no dramas with these ever. And I also have another set of Rowe rims, never had any issues. I've had another set before that, so I can praise Rowe really high, and none of them seem to rust, which is really good because I have driven in the ocean quite a bit back in the day when I wasn't supposed to, and they're still holding up. Whereas I've had another brand called, I think they're called Thunder or something on eBay, and they did rust, so very good comparison there. These have held up, the other ones haven't. Now on here in the screen recorder, I've got these new rims. Now these are quite different looking, as you can see. They kind of look like ATIs, if you know that wheel brand, but they're essentially a fake chrome bead lock. Now the reason I've gone for a fake is because you technically can't really get defected because it's not a real bead lock rim. And also, I don't go that hardcore full driving that I need to bring the tyres down to like 12 PSI. And even with these, I have brought them down that low and have had no dramas. So if these can hold up like these, I'll be very happy. Now these are a -12 offset, and these are -22. So we'll bring it in slightly, but it still should fit within the guard nicely because these actually fit out too far, if anything. And these will be paired up with 33-inch all-terrains. And now the brand of these actually aren't, so these aren't ATIs or anything, but they look similar. But the brand is literally what it says there on the wheel cap. I'll be honest, they're a bit of like a sort of Chinese brand, but I'm trying to keep the theme of it being a budget sort of build, I guess you could say. So they pretty much just haven't got that middle name expensive markup on it. So we'll see how they go. If they break, they break, but I'm sure they'll be fine. And I'll be getting 5 of them, not 4. So up to these Tyers rims, I normally just get 4, but I'll get 5, and then the big chrome B-lock will be on the rear bar, and that will be exposed. So that's one of the reasons why I don't want the rule bag on there, maybe for day-to-day driving, because I think I'll really like the look of that. But then obviously when I go on the big trips, I'll put the tyre bag on for practicality. Okay, now this is the last major mod. I just said it before, but getting new tyres, okay? So sadly the big 35s are gonna go because they're quite big and they're being practical for everyday driving. This is my everyday car, and I drive 35 muddies every single day. Now it's not good for fuel, it's not good for the drivetrain, it's just not ideal. So I decided to go down a tyre size to 33s with those rims, which I should say are 17 inch. So I'm going up a rim size as well. And as you can see here, I've just got the website up. We're going through Milestar. So this is sponsored by them. I'll be getting 5 of their tyres, very excited. And they're progressive all-terrains, okay? They're the Patagonia X/T. Now as you can see there, they've still got that aggressive sidewall look, but if you look at the top, they've still got that sort of road terrain, flat sort of tread. So you can see there, they're very cool, rugged and durable, 3-ply, very good for noise, not too loud, and it's good for long distance driving. So very excited to get these now. Milestar are they're massive in America. They're entering their door into the Australian market, and they do really good tyres, okay? So 40km/mile length warranty. So that's really awesome. Now, in that photo there, that's a Jeep with 37s. Now, mine won't be that big, but as you can see, they're very good all-round tyre, and they're very good ratings. So I'm very excited to be able to use these tyres, and these mud terrains from Cooper's. They're a really good brand, but they haven't lasted that long and they've worn a bit unevenly. So I'll be very excited to go to an all-terrain that will wear a bit more evenly, and I'll make sure I take good care of them, keep them swapping around. I'll include this one as well, so I'll make sure I swap 5 at once. And yeah, honestly, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited. A lot of new mods to come. And if you remember, a little while back I made a video saying I'm buying another car. Now, that is still technically true, but it's not going to be happening till next year. And I think I'll give this car one last hurrah. So this car will have all those mods done to it, and then that'll be its final form. But I've said that before and it didn't happen, so we'll see what happens. But I absolutely love this car. So everything's had to do. This is still my first car, but I just want to broaden my content and, you know, sort of widen my audience a bit. And also, you know, I love other cars as well, you know what I mean? Other than just the Prado. So amazing car. Still going to be keeping this, but all those mods will be coming to this soon, and it will look quite a lot different. And you know, it's all part of the hobby, all part of the fun. I really do love this stuff. And obviously, once I've modded it up, I want to get out there, use it, get some awesome photos, go camping. You know, even Cape York, any of that sort of great trips. So definitely wanting to be using the gear as well. And yeah, I don't think there's much more to say than that. But if you have any ideas of any good mods I can do or anything I've missed, rock sliders is probably a good one. But besides that, I'm not too sure of many other options. Just let me know down below in the comments. So there is also a new light bar coming. Now this is just a 40-inch single line LED light bar. Absolutely lovely. Had literally zero dramas with it, and it doesn't just do like a white light, it does like sort of a warmish white light, and it's really good quality at night. But the guys at Novasight have come through, and we're going to be chucking on their 40-inch light bar, and it looks a lot different to that one. The LEDs are in the bottom row and they shoot up into the reflector, unlike this sort of traditional design. So very excited to have that new light bar on. That will give it definitely a bit more distance and a lot more brightness. But they're also not comparable because the price range is a bit different. But very excited to get that on. So that is another new light coming to the car. Yeah, well, hopefully you guys are excited as I am. There's a lot of stuff coming to this car, and it'll be its last hurrah, sadly. But I think it's going to go out with a bang. And you know, I've had this car coming up to 7 years, and it's essentially made the channel, and I really do love it. But I want to give it one last big birthday of a full remake over, and then fingers crossed do a big rundown on it. It'll be very exciting. So thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I much appreciate that. And if you want to see any other content on Instagram or YouTube, go have a look. I've done a lot of stuff. Everything in this car has been filmed essentially and documented on Instagram. So thanks so much guys for watching, sticking around, much appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time on Built Prado.